How sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. So happy to have you guys here with me and with all of you tonight. I'm so glad all of you are here together tonight. This is your weekly Thursday night, a nerdy talk show where we sit back and relax. I said we sit back and relax. And as we cruise into a long weekend, hopefully by now you've poured yourself a a little bit of,
more specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
oh yeah. Ooh, so good. So good. Yes, this is your weekly Thursday night nerdy talk show. I saw some movies. I'm watching some new movies to me. They might be old to you. So we'll talk about that. Have some big news to talk about as well. Convention news. We'll talk about that. And of course, talk about whatever it is that you guys want to talk about. But of course, if you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, OnlyFans, newsletter, or smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug yo shit. I don't know. Feeling good. Feeling good. I was watching Strange New Worlds. Again, I don't know why more people don't watch Strange New Worlds. It is such a good show. But I saw an email that we have a sale at Big Bad Toy Store. So maybe we'll look at that too. And like I said, we'll talk about whatever it is that you guys want to talk about. Let's make that one a little bit brighter. And yeah, we're going to have a good time. So without further ado, we'll bring in the man, the myth, the legend. It is me. It is me. I'm the man without the lights on. It's me. Good to see you guys here. I just get to turn these lights on. They don't make much difference as far as like you seeing me. It's more of a background thing. So that's why I always forget, because I'm like, oh, everything else here looks okay. And then I forget about the background lights. So we've rectified that. Let me fix my screen here. And let's get the show on the road. We'll say hi to everybody in the chat. Man, you guys been going. As General Kenobi says, you guys are on fire. So let's pull that chat up. There we go. And of course, we have Tony in the house. Good to see you. I'm doing good, excited. It's a long weekend, and I have tomorrow off. It's an extra long weekend. Same for me. It's it's the diss. I know what you mean. I can translate. You're saying hi to everybody. Love that. The other Tony, aka Anthony, in the house. Good to see ya. We got Patrick in the house. Good to see ya. I was gonna say, yeah, Patrick's more on time than me. I feel like I'm usually just a little late. Patrick comes in way later. Patrick's in early. I was actually thinking about you, Patrick, because I was listening to some romantic music. No, I was thinking about you because of I was rewatching the 2023 Comic-Con video. First time we met. So far, the only time I think we've met in person. But I was like, oh, that's crazy. That was already 2 years ago when we first met. And there's so many of us that, like, as I think about it, I'm like, oh, to me, like, the show, I feel like even with the channel in general, mentally, that everything that I've done on the channel and that you guys have been a part of has been within the last, like, 365. Because that's as far back as, like, I don't know, my brain just, like, registers things. But then when I look at the timestamps of old videos, or, you know, the memory stuff comes up, and I'm like, damn, that's when that was. Like, that's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. But yeah, that Comic-Con, like, and it's funny, even watching videos, and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. Or I forgot about that edit. Or what was I thinking about in that edit? You know, that kind of stuff. Oh, I feel like I'm starting to glitch. What is happening here? Okay. Looks like I'm back. Cool. Oh, there's actually one other thing I wanted to try to do. And I don't know if it's going to let me do it. I was going to try to send this to Facebook. And I feel like during a stream, I can't do it midstream. Yeah, I can't. Well. We'll keep saying hi to everybody. Creativity from the future in the house. Good to see you. Also, I was messing around with settings earlier, so if there's any like weird echoes or anything like that, feel free to let me know. I was actually playing Spirits Unleashed. I had like 15 minutes to kill. I was like, I haven't played this game in a while, so I just did a quick round of that and had to redo some audio stuff. Okay, so that's what you guys are talking about, the Big Bad Toy Store. Yeah, we'll bring that up. I wasn't sure if there was like something else that happened, and I was like, oh, I'll wait till I scroll to the comments and see it. But I saw something about an email. So yeah. Jamie in the house. Good to see you. Again, make sure you guys check out the episode of the Generation X-Wing podcast I was on this week for their Real Ghostbuster review segment. Hella fun. And can't wait to go back on that and have them on this show too. So, yeah, can't wait to do that. Saying hi to everybody, love that. Dave's Dimension in the house. Good to see you. Absolutely killed it with his con footage. Yeah, that's right. Your footage from Fan Expo Boston has come out since the last time we were on the show. So yeah, make sure you guys check that out. Look like a great time. That convention's huge. That is huge. You've actually been to New York Comic Con, so is it similar size, or is New York Comic Con still like the bigger convention? Let me know. Sale? Yes. Josh, the casual nerd in the house. Good to see you. Was also thinking about you this week because I was watching this past year's Ghostbusters Day video when I went to Central Park and walked past where you got married and I officiated. So there you go. When I'm tired, my brain works faster than my hands. I have that problem. I'll be like, just typing away, and then I'll read back what I wrote, and I'm like, was I typing faster than my brain was processing? Like, what was happening? So I feel that. Rolando in the house. Good to see you. Glad you're doing well. Anthony shared that link, so yeah, I have that pulled up on the side here, so we'll check that out. Today it is gin. So my gin of choice, if they want to sponsor me, feel free, is Bully Boy Distillery. They're a merchant gin. They're from up here in Massachusetts, I believe. New England. Oh, it doesn't say. I swear they're from... oh, yeah, in Boston. Yeah, so that is my my gin of choice. It's funny. I kind of just realized as I was answering that question, my gin of choice and my bourbon of choice are both from locations I used to live in. So my bourbon of choice, if you guys remember, Hudson Rye, based in New York. My gin of choice is from Bully Boy. I always forget the name. Whatever it is, Bully Boy, up here in Boston. So yeah, it's an amazing show. Appreciate that. Stranger Worlds. You guys talking about Stranger Worlds? Yeah, it's so good. It is so good. Today's episode as well. Not a spoiler. Well, I won't say it. It just dropped today, so I'll let you go in blind. But it is such a good show. Today, both my eBay and Mercari, I received my Elite 93 Cesaro for parts, basic Tony Storm to use the head for custom, and AEW Unmatched Adam Copeland. There you go. Love that. Dada Films in the house. Good to see you. Yo, what up? What up? This one is not at 60 frames per second. We are at our 30. Ultra going through his stuff. I know which asshole you were talking about last Thursday. Nola messaged me about him, and I have no respect for him. And you know who I'm referring to as he was on news. Yep. There you go. There you go. 2 years. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. Louie in the house. Good to see you. Long weekend for me too. Wink, wink. There you go. You know, it's a lot of times it's a weird thought for me to not live in New York City. Like whenever I see people like going there that I know, I'm like, oh, there was a time where I could be like, oh, I'll just meet you. I'll just ride my skateboard. Oh, you're showing up on a Wednesday, or you're showing up on a Friday or a Tuesday, because I lived in Manhattan. Be like, oh, I'll just ride my bike or skateboard down to meet you. And now, not only as like an adult, but not living there anymore, I guess I'm like a tourist whenever I go to New York City, but it's like now I have to like put thought into getting to New York City. I have to put in thought into going to just places where I used to just go. It's just a weird concept for me. Appreciate that. Yeah, I can't wait to come back on. You think New York City Comic Con's better? New York Comic Con's better, yeah. Better. Bigger. Sorry.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
There you go. Yeah, New York Comic Con and I assume San Diego Comic Con are just two beasts. Two beasts. And, you know, it's funny when we went to Fan Expo Boston, my wife was making a comment about like the size of the convention. And, you know, she was like, it's not that big of a convention. And I said, well, in a way you're kind of spoiled because the one that I normally take you to is New York. The other one is Rhode Island. But Rhode Island's also a big show as far as like people goes. It's not a big show as far as like square footage necessarily. But if the only ones you go to are New York and Rhode Island, or like a Dragon Con, or which is happening this weekend, San Diego, whatever, you don't know like what a traditional standard Comic-Con is size wise. And even Boston, for not being as crowded as these other ones, Boston is bigger than a lot of conventions. You know, so most conventions you go to, you can, you know, walk the whole floor in a matter of 2 hours, I'd say, give or take. But you go to, you know, New York, Fan Expo Canada, these bigger shows, it takes you hours to do the whole thing. Today's trees as usual. There you go. There you go. Your show is an amazing show as well. I appreciate it. Let's get the shameless plugs out the way. We, of course, have nerdaffiliated.com, your one-stop shop for all things nerd affiliated. Links to the latest shorts, live shows. You can join the Nerd Foundation for just 99 cents a month. Once again, if you are in the higher tier, which I always get the price wrong. I feel like it's $199, maybe $299. You do get 10% off your purchases on the website. I'll share the code once again in the community tab. But that is your, you know, extra perk for having the higher tier of the membership. But of course, I appreciate all of you who even do the 99 cent, because it just helps with paying for all the software and the new gear and all that stuff. So I appreciate whichever tier you buy. I appreciate those of you who in the past have only super chatted, those of you who maybe have only purchased merch, But even on top of that, those of you who show up every single week and just hit that like button, I greatly appreciate it. So yeah, you get links to all that on the website. And then, of course, you can hit us up on Instagram, on Facebook, nerd affiliated across both. The Real Nerd Busters, if you're into the Ghostbusters side of things as well. I almost feel like I need another screen at this point. I feel like we're at that stage. I need like another monitor to be like up above, or like the two side by side or whatever. My thoughts. But the other thing I wanted to mention is we have new merch coming. We have some new things coming out for the fall. I have designed them with the assistance of the affiliates. So Aaron, myself, Sal, and Anthony, we all kind of brainstorm a couple new designs. They vetoed some of the ones that I wanted to do, but their pushback was greatly appreciated. So we have some new designs coming out. So again, for those of you members who have that tier, you can save yourself some money on checkout if you use that. But otherwise, we appreciate all the support from you guys. Spoiler alert. It's going to be... Oh, is there anything in my nose? I can't tell these days if there's something in my nose or if it's just a gray hair. We're teetering that line at this point. We're not even teetering. We're on the line. So spoiler alert, the merch coming out will all be fall themed as far as like what the graphics are. And they're going to be paying homage to various things that either I've watched, am watching, etc. I am all in right now on Halloween. This is going to be our first year. It's technically our second year in this house for Halloween. Last year we had just moved in, like, 2 weeks prior or a week prior. So it's technically our second Halloween, but it's going to be our first one actually being able to decorate for Halloween. So I'm like fully submerged in the algorithm of Halloween stuff on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok. And now I'm also doing it as far as what I'm watching. So I'm going to kind of plug two different things here. We, of course, have our Letterboxd, which I don't update as much as I'd like to because I don't watch as many movies as I'd like to. But lately I've been trying to ramp it up. I'm trying to kick up the movie watching, even if I'm not getting to a theater. But one of the things I decided to do in the spirit of Halloween was watch some Halloween movies, but more specifically, movies that either I've never seen or it's been so long since I've seen them, I don't remember most of it. I'll remember a scene here and there, but I don't remember plot. Actually, that's not true. I'll probably remember the plot, but I wouldn't remember like the resolve or story points, that kind of thing. So you'll see when you visit our Letterboxd that we have the Halloween 2025 new / revisit. And I will be adding to this list. This is actually ranked for what I've enjoyed the most. Shout out to Nilda. She commented there. Make sure to add Interview with a Vampire and Hellraiser. Oh, and something called May. I don't know what May is. So I will be doing that. I definitely want to watch Interview with a Vampire. I've never seen that. You guys know, I grew up in a Christian household, so I couldn't watch a lot of this stuff. So here we are. Also on this list, right, or what I'm going for here, movie-wise, when it comes to horror, I'm not a big, like, super, which is going to sound weird when I tell you what my favorite, like, horror movie is, but I'm not a super, like, gory, like, murder horror person. Like, I've never really felt the need to watch Freddy Krueger. I watched Jason in New York just because New York. I watched Jason X because at the time, everybody at school was talking about it, and it has one of the most iconic scenes in any horror movie. But I've never really had the desire to watch a lot of horror movies like that, but I love, I guess you could say more of like the teeny bopper 80 horror movies, the cheesy ones that were like PG-13 / R. So, Lost Boys. I remember parts of Lost Boys and thinking it was such like a cool thing, but I didn't remember it, so that's why I watched it. I like Nightmare Before Christmas. I consider that a Halloween movie. Hocus Pocus, stuff like that. I'm always cool with those. But like last year, for example, I watched what's the one with Sandra Bullock? I can't remember the name. But I watched that for the first time last year. I should have put that on the list, but it was last year. Anyway, so I'm watching a bunch of those kinds of movies. So like Monster Squad, I had never seen. Put that on the list. Gremlins 2, I'd never seen. So I put it on the list. And I'm going to go from there, adding some things on there onto that list. But my favorite horror movie really all time, it's debatable whether it's a horror movie or not. Actually, there's two I really enjoy. One is Hereditary. I really love Hereditary. So I do like the supernatural stuff like that. Like that movie's not overly gory or anything. Not that I have a problem with gore, but for some reason with horror, I like more of the like, oh, what's happening? Like the jump scare stuff. I guess Alien counts as horror too. I don't know if that's like a Halloween movie. I don't know. But Hereditary is one of my favorites. And Devil's Rejects. Devil's Rejects, I absolutely love that movie. Love that movie. So those movies won't make this list because I've seen them. I know them. These are all like new. But I'll watch those this season. Easily. Now, going to the merch thing, some of the designs that we're doing are going to be based on some of our favorite Halloween movies / Halloween TV shows. So when that comes out, try to figure out, I guess, where everything's from. Some of them will be pretty easy. Some of them may not. But there are a couple fun designs. It turns out they already printed. So now I'm just waiting for them to arrive. They'll arrive next week. And then I'll, take some fun photos, publish them, and you guys are off to the races on the new merch. So that's where I was going with that. Long-winded. What are some of your favorite Halloween movies? / you know what? What is a Halloween movie that you've never seen that everybody likes? Let me know. All right, about to make a purchase. I mean, you could do it now, but like I said, you could wait till the new stuff drops as well. I think you guys will like some of the new stuff. What I really wanted, and I thought they had it on the site I use, Printful, but they don't, is I wanted to do a flannel shirt with some sort of design, and they don't do flannel. I thought I saw it on there, but I guess I didn't. I guess I made it up. Halloween themed. Yep. There you go. Everybody saying hi to everybody. Halloween is life. Yep. Trick or treat. Autumn, fall is the best time on the East Coast for sure. Oh my God. You've never seen Interview with a Vampire? No. But here's the thing. Like I can remember, it's just like Lost Boys, right? I can remember aspects or scenes. And I think it's because I'd like be channel surfing and see it. Or maybe I was trying to sneak and watch it, but my parents, were too close and I have to keep changing it. So there's things about a lot of these movies I remember. But again, I don't remember all of it. So Lost Boys, for example, I won't say the twist at the end in case somebody here hasn't seen Lost Boys and they want to see it. Like Lost Boys, for example, I remembered that there was a scene where the kid was eating Chinese food and then all of a sudden it was like maggots and worms. Like I remember that, and I didn't remember what the point of that was. And then, of course, watching the movie, I'm like, oh yeah, it's this or that. But Interview with a Vampire, I remember that what's her face is in it from Spider-Man. I don't want to look it up. From 1, 2, and 3. You guys will tell me. But I remember she's in it. I remember she's a kid and she's kind of angry that she's stuck as a child. I remember that. But otherwise, I don't remember anything of Interview. But as I'm watching the movie, I'll probably remember some stuff. Watch Trick or Treat. It's a good classic Halloween film. All right. Mega Dan in the house. Good to see you. New merch. So, I mean, technically I could launch it right now, but I want to see how this stuff looks. Some of the placements, colors I've not done before, so I'm not as trigger happy to just set it live. I want to make sure they look good in person. Yeah. So for example, there's times where like I'll do a merch drop and I'll like receive 1 or 2 samples. The rest of it, I'll just let it go because I already know like how that material shirt is. I know how that color shirt is. I've used, similar designs before. So like, I don't really need to see a sample to do them. But with these, I'm doing some different colors, different types of shirts, different placements for things. Again, I don't want to like spoil it. So I just want to make sure when I get them, I like how they look, and then I'll push the go live button. But in theory, the stuff should be live, by this time next week, or assuming everything shows up by next week. What is up? I'm in the distance. I'm in fear of taking over Dustin of JPWC. Hocus Pocus. Yep. Trick or Treat should be in your list. The 1986 version, not to be confused with Trick or Treat. Interesting. Interview's a great movie. Looking forward to the merch. Thank you. Check out 1977 Japanese movie House. It's pretty effing good. All right, I will do that. It's only noodles, Michael. Yeah, exactly. So going back to this screen real quick. So right now Lost Boys out of the 3 is my number 1. I gave Lost Boys 3 stars. Definitely super cheesy. Cheesy, the twilight of its time, is a fun way to think about it. Everybody just looks cool, like that's what it's going for. They're just cool. It's funny. There's a good chunk of the movie where Michael's just not there. Not a full third, but like pretty close. And I thought that was interesting. And I also liked, I thought it was interesting how you're not like full vampire right away. It takes time to get to that. So there are bending rules that we all know when it comes to vampires. So overall, fun movie. I, of course, was like, oh, freaking Bill's in this movie from Bill and Ted. Kiefer as well. The second guy from the left here, I feel like he was in a bunch of stuff and I can't place it. But it was a fun movie. Pretty straightforward. 3 out of 5. Next one, this was my complete first time watching it, and that was Monster Squad. I had only like kind of heard of Monster Squad. I've never seen any bit of it. I don't even remember it from like TBS or anything like that. The first like 5 minutes of this movie, I shared it with the guys in a group chat. I was like, this would not be able to be made today. Some of the jokes they say when the kids are picking on each other, I was like, this movie could not be made right now. As the movie goes on, the plot's kind of messy, but I could see as a kid, it would be a cool movie to see. But probably like halfway in, I was like, oh, Stranger Things ripped a lot from Monster Squad, and a lot. And as I thought about it, I think the creators actually said that they like Stranger Things is more Monster Squad than it is Goonies. I just think Goonies is a more popular movie, so people refer to Stranger Things as a modern. Why does this keep doing that? It keeps like resetting because of the freaking ads. I think people assume Stranger Things is like Goonies because Goonies is more popular. But really, even like thinking about Steve in Stranger Things, like Steve is like the older kid in this movie here. So Stranger Things is definitely more Monster Squad. So if you're a fan of Stranger Things, I suggest you watch Monster Squad. Again, don't expect the world out of this one. You got some a couple people in there that you're like, oh, that's this dude from there and this guy from that. You get a lot of that in this movie. So I gave it 2.5 stars. I gave that one 2.5. The one I was watching today, I had never seen, or I saw bits and pieces when I was younger, was Gremlins 2. I didn't finish the movie. Could not do it. It didn't merit a 1, but I gave it 1.5. It was like, I felt like I needed to be on speed to watch this movie. Like the Gremlins were just, I felt like the main kid, Billy and Kate, the two of them, I feel like they were the only ones in the room not on like an upper. I feel like every character, including the Gremlins, were all on like all the Tony Montana. And I just, at a certain point, I was like, I can't do this. So I cannot watch this. So I turned it off. But also has a lot of crazy celebrities in it. Like freaking Lionel Luthor from Smallville is in it. You got Sauron in it. Christopher Lee, he's in it. The Doctor from Deep Space Nine's in it. So you got a lot of hitters in this one. Couldn't finish it. Could not finish it. Let's catch up on the comments real quick. I recommend Barbarian while it's on Netflix. Tomorrow might be the last day. All right. I'll check that out. I am more inclined to watch things that are for free on streaming. I actually had some credits on Amazon, so that's how I was able to rent The Lost Boys and watch it. Otherwise, it's not streaming for free. So one of the things also on my list is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I've never seen that. It's for free, so yeah. I'm most likely going to watch the things you guys recommend if it's for free. Actually, on this, am I able to make it private? I thought there was a way. Add to list, watch list. Oh, like, yeah, I can make a watch list. Okay. So we added that. What did you say, Dada? House. Let's see, House. From, you said 1977. Okay, we'll add that. And then Interview with a Vampire. We'll add that. Should I watch Twilight? Just for like the hell of it? I've never seen it. I'm gonna put it on here. I'm adding Twilight on here. I've watched video essays where they like wreck the movie, but I've actually never seen it. Well, yeah, why not? Why not? Man Collects in the house. Good to see you. Just now watching Monster Squad. I don't feel behind on cinema now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I was saying it on Generation X-Wing with those guys and gal that you know, because I grew up in that religious household, I missed out on so many, you know, I hate to say even horror, but like that's the only way I can describe it, I guess. Like horror movies and the cult classics, if you would. I remember like 2 years ago, I watched Evil Dead for the first time. And then when I watched Evil Dead 2, I was like, I thought I saw this movie already. And then it turns out they redid the movie so that Raimi could get all the credit for it. But he literally made the same movie twice. So I want to watch the third movie at some point. Yes, you crazy man. Yeah. Now, this is a very movie heavy episode. A movie I saw today, or actually I started it yesterday. I couldn't really get through it because I tried to put them on like on the background while I'm working. And I was like, oh, I do need to like, I want to watch that part, pay attention. So I'll wait. So it took me 2 days to finish it. But I finally watched Thunderbolts. Actually, let's go to here. So I finally watched Thunderbolts. There's no spoilers here. I will not spoil any of the movie. Thunderbolts from me gets 2.5 stars. 2.5 stars. My third ranked movie of the year. Thunderbolts could have been an email. It really could have just been an email. It's weird because I had no issue with any of the cast in this movie. Acting was great. The characters are they're all embracing those characters. The plot was stupid. And my cousin, I texted him because he told me this before. Sorry. And I forgot about it. But he was like, this whole movie is like a side quest. It's a side quest movie. And I was like, that is accurate. That is accurate. This movie could have been like the plot of this movie could have been a subplot in it, like any other TV show. They literally just made this movie to say they put out another Marvel movie. Really. And again, no issue with the cast, no issue with the characters. The action's okay. But it's, one of the issues I've been having. Actually, we're going down. We're going down in the earlier round. And then I probably have to lower the camera. Yep. One of the issues I've been having with the Marvel shows that we've talked about is there's no sense of danger. And don't get me wrong, like it's pretty much impossible to watch a superhero movie these days because like they kind of have to make it through. But I think the issue that occurs is some of them are doing like some wild stuff and like it doesn't look like they're breaking a sweat. Like Elena is the only one, as I look at this list, that doesn't have any powers. No super soldier serum, no nothing. And she's just leaping and jumping and taking punches next to everybody else. And it's just like, you got to change it up for her. And for some of them, I'm like, what's the difference now between even Captain America and Bucky, Agent, and Red Guardian? Like I feel like none of them, they all have the same exact strength at this point, which doesn't make any sense. So I felt like the movie was it was there. The movie was just there. Now, it's better than Brave New World. Easily. Brave New World also could have been an email. But none of them are touching Superman. Not even close. Like, the more I watch movies this year, these two are going to get pushed down the ladder with ease. Like, I can guarantee it. Fantastic Four, I watched the spoiler online of, I think they were using like Legos or something to talk about the plot. So I kind of know where Fantastic Four goes. I'm still curious to see it. I don't foresee it beating Superman. Nothing so far has beat Sinners. I do want to see Weapons, was it? So yeah. Archer, we can't be friends anymore. You never saw Monster Squad? Wolfman's got nards. Yeah. Yeah, never saw it. Never saw it. Didn't know it was a thing. But it totally is the influence of Stranger Things. Like they definitely paid homage to Monster Squad more so than Goonies by a long shot. Still refuse to watch Thunderbolts since it wasn't been rated motherfucking R like the Deadpool movies, and it's like the people behind Thunderbolts never watched the Deadpool movies. You know, I don't even know if it needed to be R. I see your point though. I mean, they very much want it to be another Avengers movie. Like that. This isn't a spoiler. Like it's in the trailers, but you know, they do this whole thing of like, oh, we're all outcasts and we got to be outcast together. You know, like Guardians of the Galaxy type thing, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for a bunch of them. It's their first time interacting with each other, so like. They're talking like they all have history and have been rivals this whole time. You know, like that. I feel like that would have, if they all had been in the last like two phases of things, fighting each other, you know, thwarting each other's plans. If that was a thing, and then here they're finally like, why are we fighting anymore? Like, then maybe this movie would have worked. But I'm like, you know, in the beginning of the movie, Elena continues to be an assassin. But like, they're really trying to make you like feel bad for her. That she's like lonely. But she's killed so many innocent people, even in the beginning of the movie. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So. It could have been a 5-episode show, but the climax needed to be more stakes. Yeah. God, Captain America 4 sucks, and thank God I never watched it. I judge MCU movies. I judge an MCU's movie by if I want to pick up physical release. Yeah. I really want to watch Primitive War as it kicks more than that shitty Jurassic Park Rebirth movie. My local theater close to me wasn't one of the lucky select theaters to have it. I've heard good things about it. And I immediately was like, oh, Ultra wants to see that movie. So you'll see it. I'm sure it'll be on streaming. But yeah, I was kind of mad, you know, because I was originally excited for Thunderbolts. I was excited for it. I wanted to see it in theaters. I was more excited than Fantastic Four. I was more excited than Captain America. But I remember seeing, you know, the big thing with Thunderbolts at the beginning when they started promoting it was who is Bob? And then when they eventually announced that Bob was Sentry, I was like, oh, this is going to be the same plot of freaking the Flash movie. And it wasn't fully, but it definitely copied a couple things. And I was just like, this is the best we got. This is the best we got. So there's that. There's that. Before I get into the news of the day, I just realized there's something behind me I want to talk about. So they broke this out on the Gen X-Wing podcast. And by the way, guys, make sure you hit that like button if you can. If it's not too much trouble, hit the like button. They broke this out on the podcast, and I was like, oh, I've always had interest in buying that. I haven't because I want the more expensive version. How is that? And they said, it's great. It is great, and it's a great price. So I picked up, while we were on stream, Tobin Spear Guide from the Ghostbusters. And it says here, written by Dr. Ray Stantz, Dr. Egon Spengler, and Eric Burnham. So I was pretty excited for this. If you don't know, you're not that hardcore of a Ghostbuster fan, Tobin's Spirit Guide. Oh, I thought the sleeve came off. It stays on. Fantastic. Tobin's Spirit Guide is literally a spirit guide. It'll tell you whatever you need to know about certain ghosts and ghouls and things of that nature. So they broke it out on the podcast as we were talking about the 2 episodes that we watched. And they were like, oh, so based on how they did it on the show, this is what Tobin, what's the differences between what the show had and what Tobin had. Even randomly here, the 2 pages I pulled up, there's a page on the Dream Ghosts from the first movie and the Phantom Jogger from the second movie. Each get a page. What's cool about the new one that came out from Magnolia Studios is it also includes other lore from other things. So they might reference, for example, The Exorcist. You know, like, what do you do if this is what you have, what you got going on? Like the situation that happened in this town. Like, it is in the book, you know. So I don't know if this has all of that. I got to skim through it. Excited to do so. Oh, Shandor. The Boogeyman from the cartoon. So a lot of cool things. I'm looking forward to reading through this. It's going to be a fun one. So I picked that up and it finally arrived. It only took 2 days. Amazon Prime. What you going to do? Now, speaking of all things horror, the big news, if you guys were following along on Instagram today, was that we have been invited to yet another convention.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
We have, that is like straight gin at this point. Ooh. Still got to make it through the show. Got to make it through the show. So we've been invited to another convention, and I'm excited for this one because, once again, I am fully embracing the Halloween season this year. Fully embracing the fact that I live pretty close to Salem, so I want to go to Salem more often and do some footage as it starts to ramp up for Halloween. But the convention that we have been invited to, and we'll be having the very elusive press pass, will be Terracon up here in Massachusetts next week. So this one, it is my very first horror convention. I've never been to a non-Comic-Con convention. Sorry, I'm like so itchy today. So yeah, pretty pumped. I'm going to do some research online. I feel like I know the answer, but do people really cosplay a lot at a horror convention? Because I've only done comic conventions. I think I did a very, very small show once that definitely was more of a toy convention. But Adam West was there, and I regret not getting an autograph from Adam West at that convention. Because I was like, wow, he's pretty big for being at this show. But that's the only time I've been to something that wasn't like a traditional Comic-Con type environment. Man. I don't know if it's like cat hair or what, but like in my nose, it's just like super itchy. I've been to like kind of a toy convention and then your traditional Comic-Cons. So this is going to be my first time at a horror convention. So do I cosplay? Do I not cosplay? I feel like I have to. It's not October, but it's close enough. I feel like I just have to do it. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, probably have to take a flight suit, but we'll figure it out. It is in Marlborough, Massachusetts. It is next weekend, the 6th and 7th, only 2 days. And Guar is going to be there, which is crazy. You can see here JSA is there. You got freaking Bill Duke going to be there. The other guy, the skinnier guy, he's also going to be there. You got some Hocus Pocus cast going to be there. Blair Witch. So going up here to the guests from Monster Squad, he's going to be there. You know, they got some hitters. Elvira's going to be there. I've never met Elvira. Will she be in costume? Who knows? Wow, the girl from Tremors. I didn't catch this earlier today. That's awesome. So they got quite a few people that are going to be there. John Lynch. Let's go over to cosplayers. Any cosplayers I know? Oh, my friend Kenneth's going to be there. There you go. Rhode Island Peter Griffin. Know him as well. Cool. So I'll see them there. That's great. So yeah, I'm very excited for it. I'm gonna watch, some videos about TerraCon in the past just to get an idea. And yeah, we're gonna cosplay it. So excited to do the footage. Let's get footage on this one. I'm only gonna go for one day. I'm only gonna go on the Sunday. So I'm not sure what the game plan is gonna be as far as how do I want to shoot it. We're going 60 frames per second on this one. That's for sure. And I don't know if I'm going to do the photo walk type thing. I think I'll go back to like the walkthrough video I did the first day of Fan Expo Boston. I think that's going to be the move. It's going to be the play. But we'll see. I'll play it by ear. But Sunday's only 10 to 5. So I need to really wake up early on that one. But yeah, we'll have that footage not this week, but the following week. But again, thank you guys. It's because of you guys that we even get these I submit the applications and they review all of our stuff. And it's thanks to all of you that we even have the numbers that we do. And you guys showing up always pushes me to like want to get better at everything I'm doing. So like, making sure I have a legit website, making sure the Instagrams stay updated, make sure the YouTube pages stay updated. Like all that stuff is because of all of you showing up every week to support. So thank you for showing up once again, for all the support. And we're 2 conventions this year that we got the passes to. So we'll keep applying to things and see what happens. The big one's New York, man. Pretty sure I applied to it. I think I did apply to it, but no word yet. So we'll see. If we get New York, man. Oof. Man. Yeah, it's under review. I got the email. Making sure I didn't miss it. Making sure I didn't miss a rejection by mistake. But I don't see one. Yeah. So we'll see. Let's catch up a bit on the comments here. General Kenobi. I'm just trying to be like General Kenobi, man. Host some panels. Sipping on gin and juice. No juice. Ultra saying hi. Congrats. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Let's go. I'm liking this season of creativity. Yep. Here in town, I feel they cosplay more at horror cons. Okay. Good to know. The Haslab, we'll talk about that before we wrap for sure. Thanks for the reminder. I know a ton of people who cosplay at horror cons. It's like Halloween. All right, cool. What's with the P.O. box? I know. You and Tony have been asking me about it. This coming week, it'll happen. Guarantee this coming week it'll happen. I promise. I promise. I figured out which post office I like the most. So that's the one I'll get the PO box at. But yeah, let's look at the Haslab real quick. And yeah. It's not good. It is not good. Before we do that, I'm going to go to Instagram real quick. I have not updated my oh, check this out from Legacy of Nerd. New look at the Power Rangers from, I guess, like a web series or something coming up. And this is them without their helmets on. Very cool. Oh, and we were going to look at the freaking Big Bad Toy Store. We're going to do that as well. I don't know what's up with my logo. My logo does not have a purple background. It looks like stairs behind it. Like almost like a Ghostbusters thing. Like when she has that pyramid show up at the end, it kind of looks like that. But that's not intentional. I don't know why it keeps doing that with my logo. Anyway, the last time that we talked about the Star Wars Haslab, and that I posted the numbers, wasn't there. Yeah, I skipped it with Snowcat. Here you go. Nope, also Snowcat. Now here, 3 weeks ago. I've not posted about this in 3 weeks. So 3 weeks ago, it was at 3,007 backers. 3 weeks ago. Right now, 3,886 backers. Yeah. Now, I was on Kenobi's stream last night, and he made a good point. We've talked about this too. It's almost like too niche of a product, of a selection. At the same time, I feel like Haslabs should be very niche, to an extent. But I feel like this is too niche even for Star Wars fans. I feel like the track record so far is not really, it's not good for Star Wars Haslabs. I feel like people now are buying into that, and they're like, oh, I want to see this thing fail. Anything else I would have been on the fence about and maybe would have backed, this one I'm not going to, because I want to see it fail. I feel like people are they're buying into that at this point. So I don't see this one making it. I don't. I think right now it's where it is, and we've already factored in people who are buying more than one. I don't know. There's going to be a push at the end. There's always a push on the last day. That doesn't matter what the Haslab is. But will it make it? I don't see it. I do not see it. I think the stretch goals are not. They're nothing. These are nothing. I think these stretch goals right here, they should just go ahead and just unlock them and say, if the backs, you're going to get all three. Like they did the Ghostbusters with oh my God, what was Rick Moranis' character again? I'm forgetting. But they unlocked him even though we didn't make it in time. They need to do that here. Just unlock all three. Because who's gonna be posting and pushing on social media to try to get Agen Kalar, So I don't see it. The cantina. I forgot about the cantina. That backed, of course. The Ghost backed. I didn't think the Ghost was going to make it all the way, and it did. So once again, I could be very wrong. The Ghost had a crazy push towards the end. Razor Crest, that one backed, of course. But, with this one, here's the kicker, right? Here's the kicker. I mentioned it last week, and it's very real right now. All of the Haslabs, all the pre-order stuff, they all need flippers to get them across the finish line. They all do. And I don't know how many flippers right now are sitting on Razor Crests, sitting on the Ghosts, and they just cannot move them. Because I feel like following the sail barge, I feel like most people who want the Star Wars Vintage Collection Haslabs, I feel like most of those people they're probably already in. They found out these things exist and they buy them. My guess. But I don't see this thing. I don't see it making it. You know, if it was something out of the classic cartoon, the 2003 cartoon, like Kenobi said, sure, maybe. I also thought this thing was $350. And then it was on the stream last night where it was reminded it's $450. That's a lot. That's more than a Proton pack. So, you know, I hope it makes it for the sake of people like Kenobi who, you know, have vintage collections. But it's a tough one. I wonder where the tariffs are involved here. You know, if not for the tariff stuff, would it have launched at like $350? Who knows? But I don't see it. It's not even halfway. We got 11 days left. Was I sharing screen before? You guys saw that? What? Did I have that up while I was talking? I think I did. It's also on tour. They're going to a bunch of conventions with it. So we'll see. Other Hasbro news, the Mephisto ended. That pre-order window ended. I would love to know how that did. I'm sure they got decent numbers on it. We still have no idea when the Proton pack is ending. None. There's no... Is it on here? Where is it? The pre-orders open up for this thing. Did they lower the price? Oh, they lowered the price. It's funny because IGN posted about it. It was $109 when it came out. IGN posted about it, said $99. And I said, you're wrong. It's $109. And it's $99. They lowered the price. So they must have told IGN that in advance and then had a typo or something. Interesting. What was I talking about? Oh, the Proton pack. Yeah. It's still there. There's no dates or anything. Shipping, it still says shipping March 1st. We've had no updates. Nothing. So I don't know what's going on with this. I'm glad it's a rolling thing. But I would love an update or something. Give a close date. I don't know. I don't know. I almost wish that they... I know that, you know, again, the tariff stuff is very real. There's still people... I don't know. There's still people out there who are like, oh, well, it's not that bad. Or, you know, I'm just like, shut the fuck up. I wonder if not for the tariffs, if it would have been like $250 or something. I don't know. At $250, this thing would have... I would have had to buy two. Would have had to. This one I'm actually on the fence about. I'm debating getting this. But also, it's pre-order expected March 1st. No, like, updates on anything. It's just very quiet over there on the Ghostbuster side of things. I don't know. I do not know. Going back to the comments here, Kenobi says, yeah, it's in a weird spot. They should reveal the pipeline items so people get more excited. Yeah. Pass on the Wolverine helmet. If I wanted one, you know I will print one for a lot less. That's true. We've also discussed that. At what point will they start acknowledging the 3D print world and maybe selling files or something? You know, if they're not talking about it, they should be. Should be. Dada like that. The serious Ghostbusters team, yeah. Hasbro updates, LOL, yeah. Last time we got an update was Ghostbusters Day. They announced it. Oh, no, they did a video afterwards where they talked about, or they announced, was it a video? Or just a press release where they announced a couple different changes. Yeah. All right, let's check out Big Bad Toy Store. They are doing a Labor Day sale. Looks like they're trying to clear out some inventory, if I had to guess. So I don't like this method of like based on percentage. I'd rather see it maybe based on figure line or something. I don't know. All right, so we go to action figures here. You know, I saw a couple really good deals on the Super 7 side. This Batman's still 153. I thought it'd drop lower by now. They had some Super 7 stuff here before at a pretty good price. This page looks pretty similar to what we've seen previously. So let's go over to company, Super 7, sort by high to low. So I still have a lot of sets. Not too much of a discount on those. You can get Wave 2 of the Power Ranger stuff for half off. Wave 1 for half off. Nightmare Before Christmas, 25% off. Oh, they made their own snake? I didn't know that. It doesn't fit a character. It doesn't fit the figures. That's interesting. Some reaction figures. So they got some good stuff on the Super 7 side. The one I debated was the Tyrannosaurus and 10%. If this was in the $20 range, this would happen. That would easily happen. What was it? Oh, Chrome Dome. Is it Chrome Dome from Turtles? He's the other one I was debating, but he's still a little pricey at $30-ish. Worf, man. I wish it was cheaper. Cliff Burton, that's too much money. Oh, that's too much money. Yeah, some of these need to go a little bit lower to really entice. Oh, this is cool. Clear Red, San Diego Comic-Con 2021. That's a good discount there. $38. That's cool. That one, that's pretty cool. Okay, we're getting lower here. The G.I. Joe stuff's also at a pretty good price. $32 for this. Not bad. That's probably what it should cost normal, I'd say. Here you go. Metalhead. $32 for that one, the Michelangelo one. $32 for this, the Ultimate one. If that was like 20-ish, I'd grab that. And now we're in the 20 range, sub $30 range. Kimberly with a terrible head sculpt. Under 30. Rita Repulsa, 27. Bebop, 25. Shredder, 25. They have a glow in the dark. Oh, but that's a reaction size. I don't collect reaction. G.I. Joe's sub 25. This one, the Tyrannosaurus. $22. That's good. I have the Dragon Zord. I don't think I have Tyrannosaurus. I should actually go downstairs and check. I don't think I have Tyrannosaurus. I could be wrong. Oh, maybe I do have Tyrannosaurus. Did I buy them both at the same time? Oh my God, I don't remember. I don't remember. I'll have to go downstairs and double check and see if I have them. Oh, you know what? I know. We're going to cheat. And we're going to go watch our own video and see if it's in the background. We're going to let the ad play. Oh, but you know what? I don't think I have Dragon Zord on display either. So I may not have Tyrannosaurus. Yeah, see, Dragon Zord's up there. I don't think I have Tyrannosaurus. So we might have to do that. $22. Throw that bish on the pile of loot. Hang on, I'm gonna switch screens real quick. See if I'm signed in. I'm not. Now I am. Refresh. Yeah, now we're signed in. Okay. So yeah, that might happen. Oh, that's reaction. Reaction. Yeah, now we're in reaction territory. I just don't mess with reactions, man. I don't. I feel like $15 should be the regular price, and then they go lower than that. Lady J Ultimate $16.50. The putty. The Ultimate Putty $16.50. Duke $16.50. Baroness. You got some good stuff here. If you're G.I. Joe and Power Rangers, you got some good stuff. You got some good options on here. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Somebody send that to Seth. Send that over to Seth. He should get that if he doesn't have that. I remember when Jason David Frank was coming out to GameStop, I was going to pick up the Battle Damage Green Ranger to have him sign it. But I didn't trust it was going to arrive in time. So I didn't get it. And obviously that one's not here now because all the Tommy stuff just freaking went crazy. All right, so you get some good stuff there. I'm just gonna add this to cart. I can always come back to it later and remove it if anything. I still want the Samurai Jack. I want that Samurai Jack. All right, going to sales. Action figures. Let's look at... Let's go to Hasbro. And Marvel. High to low. Got some full waves on there. This 2-pack's great. I'm surprised this one's not sold out here. I know it's sold out online on other sites, but the Peter and Ned, it's great for figure photography. Like they're good background characters. Some of these are a little expensive. Yeah, you can get them cheaper on Amazon or Ross if you can find them. Yeah. It's all your fault, Patrick. You're the one that brought me here. This Spider-Man, they really messed up with the neck peg thing. Because you can't swap another figure's head onto this. And like putting Toby's head on this body was the move. And because of the neck peg, the way they designed it, it doesn't look good. That doesn't work. I think that really messed up that figure. Messed up the performance of that figure. Yeah, things are not looking good here because trash figures are still going for pretty decent money. So there's no way the stuff that we would want is lower. And there's only 2 pages too. Nah. No dice. No dice. You can find some of these for cheaper on Amazon. This Zombie What If is a good figure. This is a good one. I did some photos of that. Wow, he's $10. He's another one too. You can't switch it. You have to take like this whole neck piece and head out. It's not like your traditional head on neck, and that ruins that figure too because you can't swap for a better like the Krennic head. Yeah. We'll do one more. Let's go with, I think we should do NECA. Brand, series, feature, character. Am I still in Marvel? Oh, I'm in Hasbro. Where are you? Company. We'll also do, we'll see if they have SH Figure Arts. Why not? Oh, look at that. They have the loot crate with Danny. 97's too much. Like, he's needed. The scaling on him's not very good. But he's needed if you're trying to have a full display. 97's a lot, considering you just need him. I'm going to do have my size shirt, though. They do. They got a couple of crates on here. Interesting. Flash Gordon, Predator, Halloween. Oh, this is a good set. 52. I don't remember what that costs. I don't remember what I paid full price for that. I feel like I paid 60. That's a good set. If you're gonna have a RoboCop on display, that's a good one to have. Sinclair 37. Probably cheaper on Best Buy at this point, because Best Buy also does a lot of sales. So if you're looking at any of this stuff, before you pull the trigger, make sure you're checking some of the other sites. Gonna have to send this to a friend. That Hopper there. Anthony said they have the 89 Batmobile for pre-sale for $50. Which scale? That's the $1 million. Oh, 25. I think I paid the 40 for that for my buddy. Johnny Lawrence skeleton figure. Wow. Doesn't look great, but it's there. You know, sometimes I regret not going all in on the Back to the Future figures. I sold a bunch of Back to the Future figures. I gave, I think, one or two. I gave them to you, Anthony, if I remember. Because it's a really good line, the Back to the Future ones, and they just never continued it. Not bad for the Toonie Terrors for the. Oh, that's good. Cartoon Marty for $8.39 comes with a hoverboard. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, Cobra Kai. They're talking about doing Knight Rider. I did see that. Oh, they have the Ultimate from Part 2 for $30. That's good price. I believe I sold this figure. Oh, I gave you this, Marty. Okay. Yeah, that's really good for $30. Oh, man, they have Doc too. I remember to get those were Target exclusive, and this one was one of their Target Con pickups. This was a hard one to find. Now it's just sitting there. Actually, Target Con starts tomorrow. Not sure what the reveals are this year. Skateboard, $65. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, actually. A scaled prop. Excludes tariffs. Oh, it's only 3.5 by 3 inches, but it's made of metal. Got all the Doc and Martys they made. Wish NECA would have given Back to the Future 3 figures. Yeah. I'm down for them to revisit Back to the Future and like update some sculpts. Well, they have an almanac. $25. Time Circuit replica, $60. They got some good stuff here. They got some good stuff. What was the Batmobile that you were talking about? Who made it? Oops. Was it this one? So if it's this one you're talking about, this, keep in mind, this is for their smaller scaled, like 3-inch figures. Yeah, it's for the 375 figures. They do have a cool Michael Keaton Batman coming out. They have a new wave. They have this wave coming out. Looks pretty sick. Man Collects talked about it on his stream this week. I like this. I like this one. And the head, when you dip it in cold water, it creates that effect from the movie, which is pretty sweet. So I love the idea of this Mezco line. I just don't love the price. I just don't love the price. Because I selling 375 figures to me is already a hard sell. I don't really dig 375 as a scale. I understand the benefit of 375 when it comes to vehicles. Oh man, sorry. I understand the benefit there, but I feel like with action figures, I always want to get the most detail I can. And I feel like 6-inch figures is the sweet spot. 7-inch figures depending on the company, but considering most of my collection's already 6-inch, I almost rather keep 6-inch scale, my gold standard. If you're like, oh, pick a scale, which one? I would go with 6. But 375, like who the character is every time, but there's no details to the level you would get with a 6-inch figure. If that makes sense. So, if this 3-pack was like $40, maybe. Really, it'd have to be like $30 for me to be like, oh, I'll get every wave. But $70 for a 3-inch figure not in my wheelhouse. Checking out new stuff. Oh, they have the Last Ronin Ghost 109. I don't remember what the original price was. This will go on sale. Easy. Spoiler alert for Last Ronin on that one. Zarbon 147. Man, SH Figure Arts, man, they just man. Let's look at Dragon Ball real quick, and then we'll call it an episode. Yeah, these are like never on sale. This I'm gonna add so I don't forget, but that's a save for later. I would love to have that. I would love it. I've seen this Frieza go cheaper on Amazon before. So, like I said before, if you can, if there's items you're looking at, make sure you're paying attention to what the costs are for these on Amazon, Target, Best Buy, depending on who sells them. Like this Krillin should not be 140. This is a newer one. I have the original one, but even the original one at one point was going for crazy money, and then it went down as more and more, outlets got it. Legendary Super Saiyan, at some point I would love to get that on sale though. This isn't my dragon per se, but if it was low enough, I'd go for it. Yamcha, of course, like there's no reason for Yamcha to be 115. I think regular price 115. I mean, regular price Yamcha. I think he was like 90 or something like that. Because I remember when he came out, I was like, I need to get him to complete the intro graphic, but I was not paying the price for him. No way, buddy. I don't think so, pal. This Trunks is showing up in Targets, by the way. I've seen him at a couple Targets. So if you're looking for that, go for it. We still have not received our sexy Trunks with the vest and long hair. I almost bought this at one point. It was on sale. Didn't happen. Yeah, the rest of it sold out. Man, I bought Krillin for 60 import, but I don't know how the post-Terra stuff. Yeah, I feel like that Krillin. I have the same one. I feel like it was like 60. It was in that range, but at one point he was going for over 100. Remember why? Who's responsible for making us pay for all these figures now? Remember who's responsible? Yeah. It's I'll cover this real quick. I talked about it in my stories on Instagram, but there are a lot of creators out there, and we've lost subscribers over it. My takes on the Orange Man, and people get mad, and they originally got mad when I started talking about the tariffs on this channel. People, why are you talking about that? Like, keep it out of like the collecting, keep it out of the movie stuff. It doesn't matter. Like, I come here for fun. You can't ignore it. You can't ignore the tariff stuff, because everything we talk about on this channel is something you have to buy, or it's a TV show or a movie. But nowadays we've gotten more into the collecting, the cosplay stuff. Like that's what we cover. So you can't cover toys and cover cost and not mention the tariffs being a thing. So like it continues to get worse. People continue to unsubscribe and all that because they're like, oh, you're talking about the Trump again. Leave him out of this. Like there's a lot of Trump fans that are in the community. Is what it is. Nothing you can do at this point to change their minds. But you know, I shared a video in 2 of my groups today from Toy Snowman, and he's a regular dude just trying to sell toys. You know, he buys them wholesale from the companies, sells them for retail, sells them online, he said about a quarter of his business is to the US. He's in Canada, and everything's on pause now because of the new stuff starting tomorrow. You know, like it's crazy. And you know, the part I want to drive home, the part I really want to drive home is the whole Trump shit and the way that he talks and the way that his administration operates is they really bank on you not keeping receipts and you not paying attention to everything, because you can't. They put out so much stuff every day, it's impossible to pay attention. It really is. It really is. And one of the things that a lot of people just don't listen to because it's boring as fuck, but that's why I'm here, is a lot of people don't listen to earnings calls. Most people could give 2 shits. Most people don't even know they exist. But I sit here, and because I like it, I like the torture, I listen to the Hasbro earnings calls, for example, every quarter. You know, I don't actually, Hasbro is the only one I listen to the whole report, but I'll look at the reports from other companies and like how they did, what they talked about, keynote or key things that the CEOs have said. Since April, and you don't want to hear this, but since April, all of these companies, every single one of them has talked about tariffs on their earnings calls and in their earnings reports. And more and more and more of them, as time goes on, they're all saying the same thing. We're eating the cost at first. It can't continue. It will not continue. It's just not going to be a thing. And Hasbro said it on their last one. Hasbro was on their earnings call was last month. I forgot about it, so I went back and listened to it. I believe last week, and I sent some text messages out to people. You know, they one of the things they talked about on their earnings call was a lot of retailers are not redoing their planograms as early as they normally do. They're not doing their shelf resets as early as they normally do. What does that mean? You know, when you go to the store, you have the pegs that, you know, Super 7 peg, Marvel Legends peg, Pepsi peg. Like, you go to the store, you see those pegs. Those pegs are all planned out. Those things are on what's called a planogram. So every inventory, for example, departments get a planogram of what they have. They get a list of what they're supposed to have. Make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. Because the other thing, too, is companies pay more or less to have their stuff in certain sections in a store. You know, so Target doesn't randomly say, I think this is a great spot for Marvel Legends, and Marvel Legends deserves this much space. No, like Hasbro pays Target to say, hey, our stuff, we want it to have at least this much room. Make sure it's up here. You know, we're not down there. Like, make sure it's here. So everything is dollars and cents. So what they were saying on the call was normally their companies or these retailers are like, hey, this is what our new planogram idea is for the upcoming season. Maybe they're like 2 seasons out. They talk about the stuff. What do you have coming? How much space you need? How much space do you want to allocate and pay us for? They're not getting those things as early as they normally do. Companies are not saying, hey, we're doing our fall reset. We're doing our spring reset. They're not doing them as early as they normally do. Some of them haven't even started ordering their Christmas stuff yet, which normally would be already ordered. So what Hasbro was saying on their earnings call was if you, because they deal with the toy stuff, if there's a hot item that your kid has been asking for and you were going to get it for them for Christmas, you better go get it now. Because planograms haven't been getting updated. That's a red flag. And companies have not been ordering like they have been in the past, which is another red flag. We make the product. You tell us how many you want. Oh, you only want two pallets this time? Normally you order 5. So all that stuff it's in effect right now. And it's just getting worse. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse. You know, and that's what he doesn't, he know, I don't want to say him directly, but they know that most people don't look at that stuff. So if he tells you things are better, and if he tells you we're making more money right now on tariffs than ever before, there's a truth in there. But there's also a shit ton of lies in there as well. And the truth part is, yes, they're making more money on tariffs because the tariff percentages are way higher than it used to be. And every company is telling you, if you've not been seeing the increases in the prices, it's because we've been paying them and we will no longer be paying those. So just like every economist says, tariffs are paid for by the end user. And it's going to start to be visible to you as you go into the holiday season this time. Because he's not backing down. He's chickened out. That's very real, where he's like, oh, you're going to be here. I'm going to give you an extra period. Now you're here. I'm going to give you're here. But it used to be here. So he's still playing up here with the threats, but it used to be here. And hell, the one that's rolling out tomorrow, there was this thing where if you were selling something internationally sub $800, it was free on the tariff cost. So a lot of smaller businesses were selling international. Not anymore. Now it's like under $100, I think. So that's why companies like Toy Snowman, he's like, I'm losing all my U.S. customers because who's gonna pay 30% tariff on a Krillin figure? It's already $80. You're gonna pay 30% tax on that just to import it on top of sales tax. It's all him. This isn't like a left or right thing. Like that's the facts. And people don't like that. People don't want to hear it. So I don't know. Anybody who ever wants to unsubscribe and cancel memberships and all that over me talking about that stuff, by all means, I hope you come back at some point. But like, I'm not. Whenever I talk to you guys about this stuff, I usually show you guys proof and receipts, and I pull up the numbers. This isn't like propaganda. That is what it is. That's how stuff works. That's what they're saying. And if you don't believe me, I encourage you. Every time you see something online, people accuse Trump of something, I would really appreciate it. If you say that what you're reading is false, I encourage you to look for it. And don't look for it from a commentator. Look for it from an actual report on what happened. Not what somebody is interpreting it as how it happened. My suggestion. Yeah, my fun costs more now. Yeah, exactly. Screw the haters. Someone got to talk about it. It's reality of our world. Pop culture out of Australia announced freezing on all orders. United States, they sell everything. I shared that today. There's a bunch of countries that paused all their shipments to the United States. One girl, Kate, she does the Ghostbusters 2016 stuff. She's out of Australia and she sells things to people here. She had to cancel all her sales and refund people because the Australian government was like, we're not exporting right now because we got to figure this whole shit out. And it's not a figuring it out of like cutting us a deal. It's a figuring it out of how do we pay the government? when people are, who do we bill? How does this work? There was no rollout. They just literally turn it on. So think about all these small businesses now that are going to eat shit. How about take 2 shifts? Same, sir. Every day I'm updated on the market. Every day I get a glimpse of how out of touch the economic environment is with the common man. Inflation rated E for everyone. Yep, it's scary. I'm unsubscribing over you not seeing Monster Squad. That's fair. I'm scared to order an aluminum motherboard and I'm in Canada. Yeah. $80 or 15% or both. Yep. There's a comment here that triggered a thought. Oh, yeah, last thing. I was at a supermarket and one guy was talking to his coworker, and I guess she got asked to do overtime. And he was like, "Hey, look on the bright side. At least you don't got to pay taxes on your overtime." And I was like, "Yeah, that's how he said it, and that's how the common person perceived it and understood it. Not how that works. It is not how that works. And I don't think I have time to explain. I encourage you, though, go to ChatGPT, type in, are there no taxes on tips and overtime? And it'll break it out for you as to yes, in theory and in descriptor, that is true. But there's a lot of restrictions on it. And most of you in this chat make too much money that you will continue to be taxed on both. And the no tax on tips and no tax on overtime, that's only federal. You're still going to be taxed on it locally. That part never changed. Praise be to Trump. And with that, we'll end the episode. Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. HeyArcher Live every Thursday, 8:15 p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. We have daily Planet episodes dropping a couple times a week. We just dropped our Ghostbuster Crocs review, so make sure you check that out. I still have to review the Tools and Talent belt. I don't know if I'm gonna have time this weekend, but I'll try to do that by next week, so you guys can put your order in for that. I also have my Boston Comic Con haul. I never talked about that. Maybe I'll do a video there. But I'm definitely going to be scrolling through Tobin's to see what kind of fun things are here. Pretty excited for that. Hey, whether you're left or right, you know, you voted for who you voted for. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, all we have is each other, and we should act accordingly. Like, comment, subscribe, talk to all your nerds in the next video. Peace. I'm out of here.
2016 says I just whipped your ass.